Never been a medical reason for criminalizing marijuana. Marijuana was criminalized because it was associated with dangerous classes, poor people generally. Marijuana was criminalized because it was associated with poor people, dangerous classes. First criminalization of marijuana was in the Southwest. It was in New Mexico, later Utah, and so on, and it was specifically targeted against Mexico. Marijuana didn't get criminalized in the United States until shortly after Prohibition ended. After Prohibition ended, we had this huge Bureau of Narcotics, and they had to do something. So they discovered marijuana is going to do all kinds of horrible things to you. The Senate testimony about this is mind-boggling. They did have a representative of the American Medical Association who said, we don't have any medical evidence about this. He was shut up, denounced, got rid of him right away. Then they found somebody else, a pharmacologist, a guy teaching at Temple University, who was doing experiments with marijuana in dogs. They brought this guy in. He testified that when he gave marijuana to dogs, they went insane. Marijuana to dogs, they went insane. They do all kind of things. Some senators asked him, the guy, well, have you ever tried marijuana on humans? So he said, yeah, I tried it on myself. And he said, well, what happened? He said, I turned into a vulture. I started flying around the room. This stuff is terrible. It makes people insane. And marijuana, it was declared by Congress that marijuana makes people insane. But then something happened. It turned out that lawyers, defense lawyers, got the idea and used this for an insanity defense. So if a guy was found, who killed 3 cops, his lawyer would say, well, he had marijuana before, so he was insane, so he can't do anything. And people were getting off on charges, like cop killing, for example, on the claim that they had marijuana. So all of a sudden it was discovered that marijuana doesn't make you insane. Congress decided, sorry, it doesn't make you insane because we want to wipe that out. The next idea was marijuana is an entry drug. It's a drug you take and then you go on to something else. Well, there was never any evidence for that. But that was decided. And then in the early 50s, something else happened. Marijuana is being brought in here by red Chinese to poison the American population and destroy us. So therefore, we got to stop marijuana. And it kind of goes on like this. Actually, the peak of marijuana use was, as I said, in the 70s. But that was rich kids, so you don't throw them in jail. And then it got seriously criminalized. You really throw people in jail for it when it was poor people. There has never been a medical reason for criminalizing marijuana. Marijuana was criminalized because it was associated with poor people, dangerous classes.
Physician for the People, Friday night, 8 o'clock, Listen Vision Studios. The call to justice is the remedy. The call to high-mindedness comes from the healer within. The healer within is the endocannabinoid system. The cannabis community has developed the endocannabinoid system, has developed a culture of kindness, and is leading this country and this time to a new future. Cannabis community, physician for the people, here for our community. What is in our best interests? Cannabis community, what do we want? Cannabis community, what do you want? Cannabis community, what do I want? The call to justice is the remedy. The call to high-mindedness comes from the healer within. The healer within is the endocannabinoid system. The cannabis community has developed the endocannabinoid system, has developed a culture of kindness, and is leading this country and this time to a new future. Cannabis community, physician for the people. Cannabis community, physician for the people. Live, Friday night, 8 o'clock, Listen Vision Studios. Cannabis community, physician for the people. Live.
I am Dr. Ram Thoreau. This is Physician for the People. I am with Mr. Mental Stamina. Right on. We are here at the center of cannabis community in the nation's capital. This is the District of Cannabis, Listen Vision Studios. I want to tell you right now, you have tuned in to the centerpiece of cannabis community in the whole planet, right? WLVS Studios. I'm telling you, on Friday night, we are followed up by Cold Culture, one of the greatest shows on the fucking planet about cannabis culture. This couple, they are sweet, they're nice to each other, and I'll tell you how human beings are with cannabis. They're good people. You want to watch this fucking show. On Saturday night, McLeaf's Marks. Listen, this guy tells us how wrestling works out for the fucking cannabis community. This is the revelation, all right? You got to get your fucking mind slammed to the fucking mat sometimes, all right? And on Sunday night, absolutely the preeminent fucking cannabis broadcast in the whole country, Phone Homie, right here. Phone Homie. Have you seen Phone Homie show?
Not the Phone Homie, yeah, that's the people's.
God bless. Right, he showed people how to do it. I got the inspiration from talking fucking Phone Homie, right? And then on Monday night, we got DC Pharma. These guys do the no-till, amazing job because they teach you how to do the soil so rich, you don't have to do much for the plants, right, like that. And then Tuesday night, personal favorite, Jay All Day. He's doing District Dabbers. District Dabbers, a fucking movie every Tuesday night. I had him on as a guest, made my fucking show. Wednesday night, new show. We like these guys a lot. Blunts Over BS. Check them out, right? And then our friend on Thursday night, Juan Deuce. Juan Deuce has the franchise. I'm telling you, this guy's going to go national with Blunt Facts. His game show is genius. You got to check it out. Thursday night, 11 o'clock. He's on late. But you want to see where cannabis community is going? Check into WLVS. All right?
Speaking of Blunt Facts, what is this?
I don't know. My young lady over here, what is the wonderful pre-rolls we're enjoying right now? Hollywood OG. Thank you very much, young lady. Thank you. Well, that's where we are at. Now, listen, I want to ask you a couple questions because, right on, one of the things that I met Mr. Mental Stamina during the pre-show, there is a rap competition that goes on at WLVS. It is tremendous. Stoner and Mental Stamina, Watusi, Cult Leader, Paper Cut. I'm telling you, some kick-ass fucking rappers right here before the show every time. And I'm talking to y'all, and I think cannabis is part of your art form. And I want to ask you about that. Where does cannabis work for you? You know, when did you first try cannabis? Let me ask you that. When did you first try it?
First time I ever tried it, I was 14 in school. We just was outside smoking trees, you know. I didn't know how to inhale though, so I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just trying. The first time I ever actually inhaled I was with my two cousins, and my older cousin showed me how to inhale, and that was a memorable night. Right on.
Yeah. Right. The first time you tried it, did you really enjoy it, or was it sort of scary? That's sort of like.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't really enjoy it because nothing really happened.
Yeah, 14, nothing happened.
Yeah, nothing happened, and I was more so just shook because I was at school.
You were at school.
Yeah, it was during school.
During school, that's balls. So you were, and nothing happened, right? You're almost lucky nothing happened. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so like one of the things when you rap,
nothing happened that time.
Nothing happened that time. Listen, when you rap, you go to a place of mental stamina, like poetry. It's a different kind of style. I want to ask you about your influences. Like, where do you come from when you hear rap?
I mean, mostly I like deconstruction. You know what I'm saying? So like, I was always like, I never really liked. I mean, I liked rap, but then I was like, I don't like this shit. This shit is so like I was like, it was never like stuff I really like. I liked it, but then and then like the first thing I really fucked me up. I mean, Bone Thugs fucked me up and Twister like stylistically, but first time I heard cannabis, that like my brain blew up. And then first time I heard A$AP Rock, so like 98, I was on my Wu-Tang, Killer Priest, like all that. But when I heard cannabis, and then A$AP Rock, that was like boom.
Right. See, that's where I'm coming from. Is cannabis essential to your art form? And I think it's like almost a personal question, right? Is right? That's where I got to go. Is it like reggae? Is cannabis become something that's essential for this, at least this genre that we're in, and then what we're doing here? Is this LVS got like cannabis rap?
Yeah, I put like the same way cannabis is important in like reggae and jazz is the same way in hip hop. Definitely, yeah.
Well, right on. I was at Weinstein Dorm back in the day when Rick Rubin lived there, and the big scuttlebutt was Rick would always be puffing, but he would never say he did because he would get kicked out, right? So he got caught in '82.
You had to be smart back then.
You had to be smart, right? And that's why you went to Washington Square Park to fucking buy good weed. Right on. Okay, so listen, we're gonna take us out. Jacob, take us out to Yeah, we got the next video. Right on. And then we'll come back.
This is Psalms 24 without apology. Muta Maruka and Luciana. Trust me.
The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof.
The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof.
The world and they that
dwell therein. For he had found it upon the sea,
you found it on the sea,
and established it upon the flood.
Establish it on the flood.
Who shall ascend in the hill of Jah? Or who shall stand in his holy place?
Who shall stand in the holy place?
He that hath clean hands and a pure heart, who hath not lifted up his soul into vanity, nor sworn deceitfully. He hath received the blessing from Jah and righteousness from the Almighty of his salvation. This is the generation of them that seek him.
This is the generation that seek him the Most High God.
That seek thy face, O Jacob.
Seek thy face, O Jacob.
Lift up your heads, O ye gates,
Lift up
and be lifted up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in.
And the King of glory shall come in.
Who is this King of glory?
I say, who?
Emperor Haile Selassie,
of glory.
Jah strong and mighty, Jah mighty in battle.
Mighty in battle, mighty in war.
Lift up your heads, O ye gates, even lift them up,
Lift up your
ye
heads,
everlasting
O
doors,
be ye lifted up,
and the King of glory shall come in.
and the King of glory, yes, the King of glory shall come in.
Who is this King of glory? Emperor Haile Selassie. He is the King of glory.
Who is the King of glory?
Jah Rastafari. He is the King of glory.
Jah Rastafari. He is the King of glory. Yes, the Lord of glory.
Lift up your heads, O ye gates.
Oh, lift up your heads, oh, we gates.
Even lift them up,
Even lift them up.
ye everlasting doors,
Even lasting love.
and the King of glory shall come in.
And the King of glory.
And now we ask
The
again,
King of glory.
who is the King of glory?
Come here.
Jah Rastafari. Emperor Haile Selassie. He is the King of glory.
Who is the King of glory?
Who is this King of glory? Emperor Haile Selassie. Emperor of Ethiopia, King of kings, Lord of lords, conquering lion in the tribe of Judah. He lift up himself, light of the world. Jah Rastafari. He is the King of glory.
Yes, we have to meet the King of Zion one day. I say, ooh, Zion, ooh, it's the King. I say, ooh, Zion. I say, ooh.
The disorders that I suffer from are multiple congenital cartilaginous exostosis and a variant of the syndrome pseudo-hypoparathyroidism. In lay terms, what it means is bone tumors that grow outwardly from the long bones such as this, grow outwardly into the muscles and the veins, stretching the muscles and the veins, making it very painful. And more important, any kind of movement can tear the muscle or tear the vein, and I could hemorrhage and a clot could break off, go to my heart, my brain, my lungs, I'm dead. I usually try to get in, if I can, 10 to 12 marijuana cigarettes per day. cannabis definitely does is relax the muscles when we have these tumors. Thereby, I can move and not have to worry about tearing anything. I'm ready to go to work and I try to make some money for myself and my clients. More important, my clients. When people see me taking my medicine, they don't understand that it's medicine, and they think all I'm trying to do is get high, and that I've got some kind of balls to be able to do it in public. Of course, I try to explain to them right away that it's medical use provided by the federal government, and I'm sure most people just kind of laugh and go, "Yeah, right." I became the second person in the United States to receive medical cannabis from the federal government. Robert Randall was the first patient.
We welcome to Larry King Live, Bob Randall, the first American ever to gain legal access to marijuana because of his glaucoma condition. Why are you allowed to use these, Robert?
I have a disease called glaucoma, and marijuana at this point is the only drug that will help prolong my sight.
If it's smoking now legally, couldn't you? Sure.
Okay.
Yes. This is a first. I want you to know, Larry.
I spent 27 years with Bob Randall, and 25 of those years.
Cannabis community, I am here with Janet and Odarte of Incredibles DC, along with Mental Stamina on mic 2. We are talking to you about one of the most incredible events I heard about. You guys did this incredible thing last weekend, and you're going to do it again. Too much popular demand brought you back.
Yes, our vendors asked us to host another party, so we decided to have another one this weekend. We had 250 people come through our door,
Right.
the first event in 4 hours, and we're extending it to 5 hours now, and we're expecting about 600. So we're
Cannabis
excited.
community, like a tidal wave, a tsunami of positive
Yes.
vibrations.
It went great.
It is. Listen, we have some pictures from the last event, do we? Let's put them up. Yeah, we sure we do. Heck yeah. We're like Sienna. Listen, we're going to put them through, but I want you to tell us about some of this stuff. I have you here with people from Faded Enterprises, right?
Yes.
Right, wonderful.
Yes.
Look at that.
Yeah, our vendors just completely showed out.
That is awesome.
Yes.
Listen, we have a worldwide audience, people listening and watching from New Zealand to Egypt to Australia to Hungary. I'm telling you right now, they're seeing DC. Look at these events. Come on down to DC, y'all. Come on to your
Yes,
event.
we're happy to host you.
I
If you
know.
vend in other states, we're happy to host you. I actually have somebody who's coming from Pennsylvania this weekend to vend with us. They're a new vendor.
So this is amazing. I
Yes.
heard you have a top-notch
We do.
promo company working with you right now.
Yes,
Canaglam.
Canaglam.
I've heard of them.
Canaglam, yes. They're amazing.
They are
They've done
amazing.
all of our promos and PR, and they've worked wonders with us and getting us in the community. Definitely.
Wow, shout out to them.
Yes,
Yeah, big time,
absolutely.
big
Big
time.
time. We would not be where we are today without the community that we've so far made, but we want to grow it.
Yeah, you know, I hear about your event around, not from directly from me, but really from my Facebook feed from my other friends. Right? So this is
Awesome.
how I know about your events.
Great.
Right? That's how I learned about it.
Yeah, I
from
mean,
them.
we're trying to create a multidisciplinary space that's not only used for people to sort of consume or look at any marijuana product, but it's also for people to develop their music pursuits. Also, it's a creative space for artists. There's a massive roof terrace, and
We
it's
have a
just
recording
it's
studio.
It's an open space full of natural light.
Right.
It's in the middle of
Beautiful.
Adams Morgan, and it's a real blessing to have a place where people can come together and actually share ideas.
Right on.
That's what it's all about.
Well,
Pushing
Karen,
boundaries.
That's what I
Creating
want.
a community.
Yeah, that's where we want to go with
Yes.
this because we are within the letter of the law because it's a private event, y'all.
We
So
are,
we're
yes.
inviting people to your home, an extension of your home into a private space. That's why there is kitchen. That's why you're talking about collaboration. It's not just retail.
Right. We have 3 kitchens on premises.
Right.
Rooftop, terrace patio on each floor.
Right.
It is a no smoking environment, but each floor has its own designated smoking area.
Yeah.
So
And I mean, bringing all of the talent that we see daily that's around us
Right.
to
Absolutely.
perform in our space as well. So a small space with an excellent sound system where
Theater.
where artists can sort of screen independent films as well as like do music. There's a recording studio in there, like fully kitted out already. I don't even know how we came upon a place, but it actually
definitely are blessed.
it works for many different avenues.
Absolutely.
Because we're all creative in our own ways, And
Right. Do you feel your heart lifting? Listening to the heart lifting, talking about all the things, the possibility of what's potential and
Yes.
true.
Yeah.
Right.
It's better to get one idea from 100 people.
We also
100
have
ideas
another
from one
event
person.
coming up at the end of May. We're going to have a Women of Cannabis event, and all of our women vendors are going to come out, and we want everybody to come and support them as well.
Well, listen, you come on, and I want you to promote and actually come
Great,
on and
thank
shout
you.
out then. Listen,
Yes.
Cannabis Community, I want you to follow them on Facebook, Incredibles of DC. I want you to follow them on IG, Jennifer Haynes. Odarte, how do I say your last name? Help me.
Mills.
I can't say that. Odarte.
Yeah.
Mills.
That's the easy part of my name.
Mills. Odarte, where's my weed? Okay, Jacob, take me to the next one. Yes, sir. Bring it back now around.
Physician for the People, Friday night, 8 o'clock, Listen Vision Studios. The call to justice is the remedy. The call to high-mindedness comes from the healer within. The healer within is the endocannabinoid system. The cannabis community has developed the endocannabinoid system, has developed a culture of kindness, and is leading this country and this time to a new future. Cannabis community, physician for the people, here for our community. What is in our best interests? Cannabis community. What do we want? Cannabis community. What do you want? Cannabis community. What do I want? The call to justice is the remedy. The call to high-mindedness comes from the healer within. The healer within is the endocannabinoid system. The cannabis community has developed the endocannabinoid system, has developed a culture of kindness, and is leading this country and this time to a new future. Cannabis community, physician for the people. Cannabis community, physician for the people. Live, Friday night, 8 o'clock, Listen Vision Studios. Cannabis community, physician for the people. Live. Tonight's episode, mental slavery. How does it work? Who benefits? Can we end mental slavery today? What would it take to end mental slavery as we know it? Abolish it for all time. The only separation from our ideals and our practices is this mental slavery. The barriers that the mind, and only the mind, enforces by way of a herd mentality that is manipulated by authority and perpetuated through ignorance, such that my people suffer. It is the purpose of Physician for the People to end human suffering, ending mental slavery. Our mission, ending mental slavery. It is the purpose of Physician for the People to end human suffering, to end mental slavery. What we can do as human beings is untested. The limits of compassion are unknown. What we can do for the joy of giving is yet to be discovered. And this is our research project, to investigate where human beings can grow in their kindness and their ability to love each other, and to provide the truest medicine, the truth of human kindness, of loving awareness, of compassion, not only to those who need to receive, but to those who need again to learn how to give. Those with much, with abundance, but in that abundance it rots, for it is stagnant. For so many hunger and want and in deprivation. From these stark states of inequality, we find our people at this time suffering unnecessarily. And it is our objective as physician for the people to end this suffering today. Cannabis community, what do we want?
Cannabis community, I am Dr. Ram Thoreau, and you have joined us here on Physician for the People.
I like the new color.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm here with John Holland. I follow him on IG. John Holland.
JW Holland 420 smoked out.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's the easy one.
Mm-hmm.
Right. On the phone now.
It's the shortest one I could come up with.
Right. All the good ones were taken.
Yeah. You know, the 710s. I like 420.
You like 420, right?
I'm more of a Grateful Dead guy.
You are more of a Grateful Dead guy. Yeah. I like that about you. Right, on the line, we got someone else we really like. We got Yoga Nidra, who is our resident healing touch expert, is telling us now about a yoga training she is taking that's absolutely certified. That's yoga cannabis, right? The first official yoga cannabis yoga training. Yoga Nidra, can you hear us? Can you come on through? Can you hear us?
Yeah. Hey, Rom.
Hey.
Who's sitting
On the
next
phone?
to you today?
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, we got her on the phone. We got technology.
Cool.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Yoga, tell us what's going on over there. Where are you? What you doing?
Hey, I'm actually at a yoga concert, but I stepped out to talk to the cannabis community tonight.
Right on.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
Tell us what's going on. What are you gonna do? You're gonna stretch our cannabis. Can we get high and do some yoga?
You can in DC, and you can go to Colorado to do a weekend training for 100 CEUs. So that's like any other profession when you get the extra credits. But here's the interesting: the Yoga Alliance received its first proposal for a 200-hour teacher training for yoga and cannabis, and they turned it down.
What?
They're afraid people are going to hurt themselves, I think.
Interesting.
Well, you can look at it several different ways, but one of the ways to look at yoga is you can do yoga without props, without cannabis.
Yeah,
And-
well, I mean, it depends, because the main complaint I've seen is that people don't want to be dizzy while doing yoga. And that's the argument against it, I guess.
Right.
You know,
I can
but
see that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that. Right. I've seen a lot of people do CBD yoga. Yoga
Yeah.
Nidra, can I ask you that?
I mean, it's not like you have to smoke as much as you can and then do
Right.
yoga.
Right. Oh, grab a mic.
What's
Grab a mic. Hey. We got Dab.Dubs. Want to talk on the show? Friend of the show, Dab.Dubs. Grab a microphone so people can hear.
Super Dab Brothers, you dig?
Get on mic. Come on, bring him in. Bring him in the camera view. That's right. That's right. All right, let's ask a question, Yoga Nidra. Dab.Dubs. Break out, break in. He knows how to do it.
Because the one question that I got, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was listening to what John was saying about the head thing. Like, the head chakra, you know what I'm saying, is not my problem. The main problem, you know what I'm saying, that I mainly have is lower spine, lumbar.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't sit in a certain position, you know what I'm saying, in order to be able to not say enjoy, you know what I'm saying, yoga,
Yeah.
but to experience the true nostalgia of the yoga, because like I said, I can't like sit in no fetal position.
That's true.
Like L4, L5, S1 lumbar disc.
Like what?
So
Are they fused? You got what? Are they bubbling?
Oh man, it's spinal stenosis is a bitch.
Spinal stenosis, sir. Yes, sir.
Lumbar spinal stenosis.
Lumbar spinal
is a
stenosis. So Yoga
bitch.
Nidra, you have a reply for Dab.Dubs? Like, do we have safe yoga for spinal stenosis?
Or for those that got spinal problems.
Spinal problems. Do you feel confident with your cannabis yoga taking on someone who says, "Hey, I got a history of back pain"?
Yes, and we have Curtis who also does the massage. And the reason I called in is because yoga you can use props, so you can get comfortable.
Right.
Right, and cannabis can be a prop.
A prop, like a block. So like
But
in
there's
class,
another way to look at it. I hear about your low back problem. But one of the things I called in about is that Tai Chi and Qigong has not allowed itself to be bastardized or sexualized by American culture. And yoga has let it slip away to be totally commercialized. Like, it's not sexy to do Tai Chi, but
Right.
you can go, I mean, the way they sell the clothes and everything. That's one way to look at it. But the other way is when you use cannabis and you engage in the endocannabinoid system, you get the high, and then your poses are an expression of that high.
Right. The
asana. I was about to ask, you talking about THC or CBD? Because with CBD is a non-psychoactive cannabinoid.
Right.
So what's the difference between THC and CBD?
That's a good question.
Well,
Right.
the other thing is like you can take Tylenol so you can actually do yoga, right?
No,
Or you take the
that's not to be
CBD.
dismissed, Yoga Nidra, because Tylenol does suppress the reuptake of internal cannabinoids. It actually does give you a little bit of a cannabis high. But to that end, Dubs, I've seen most of the cannabis yoga classes really are CBD yoga, and that's just to the short of it. And I think that's where we can say across the board, it's not going to do you harm, and your body's not going to. You're not going to get so lifted that you're going to stretch yourself into doing something you would never do.
Right.
Right. That's the truth.
Well, yoga isn't about doing that. Yoga is about trying to link your breath to your movement, so it feels good. So even sitting.
Yeah, and just because sorry, what are you saying?
Yoga. Well, I was gonna say in the yoga philosophy, if you go back to like this Bible type book called the Yoga Sutra, there's only one posture. It's to sit for a long time. That's the only posture.
Yeah.
So
It's
if you have
relaxation.
chair yoga. You can do a chair yoga. You can do a Iyengar and prop yoga. There's a lot of options. Or you can. There's books on ganja. Most of the yoga studios will use the word ganja.
Yeah,
that's
and just because the National Association for Yoga or whatever doesn't approve of it doesn't mean people aren't going to do it. You know, you can vape a little bit and do
I'm
yoga.
not here to defend that. I'm just giving this information.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
This is
No, I'm
trying to
just-
deliver information.
Yeah, I think it's still something that's safe, but I don't know why they wouldn't approve classes for it.
The reason why they wouldn't want to approve the classes is because, as I mentioned before, you know what I'm saying, like it knocks out big pharmaceuticals. So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, when you have a company like Extreme Terps, you know what I'm saying, that has a topical, you know what I'm saying, CBD topical instead of using Bengay, you know what I'm saying, which you gotta stay repetitive. I mean, I didn't mean to take over, but that's that's the question, you know what I'm saying? That's the answer, you know what I'm saying, that a lot of people look for, you know what I'm saying, because at the end of the day, when you knock out pharmaceuticals, they lose, and we the ones winning.
Big money.
Billions.
Big money.
Big
Right on.
money.
Big money. Right on.
Well, they don't have alcohol yoga. They don't have pharmaceutical yoga.
Well put, right? But alcohol's not mentioned in the Vedas, right? Absolutely. Cannabis is. Cannabis is a blessing. Cannabis is a sacrament.
And you can look it up yourself.
You're always welcome on the show.
Hey.
You always add, A is right. Listen, we're going to go out and bring out Ms.
Represent.
Dankness next.
You know what I'm saying?
Right on. We got an MP4 for you. Thank you, Yoga Nidra. You're always enlightening. Thank you, hon. Thank you, hon. We'll get back to you. All right. Anything else you want to shout out with, hon, right now? Last
I
word.
miss you all. That's how I'm going to end. Yoga Nidra out. I miss you all.
Oh, we'll see you next time you get in. All right.
All right.
Now, Cannabis Community,
Bye.
we'll bring you on after the next slide.
I'm not in this world to live up to your expectations. Neither are you here to live up to mine. I don't owe no one no obligations. No one owe me none, so everything is fine, fine. I said I am, Learn to love your brother. Don't covet your neighbor. Flee from the city. It's getting shitty. It is filled without equity. I said I am that I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. Learn to love your brother. Don't covet your neighbor. Get out of the city, 'cause it is so shitty. And it is full of out-equity. I said I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am.
Cannabis community, I am Dr. Ram Thoreau. I am here with Ms. Dankness, with John on the end. Ms. Dankness, you know, come on down. You shared with me some of your wonderful CBD. It was best tasting CBD I have ever tried.
Thanks.
You made it yourself.
Oh, you
and
brought
you're telling
some?
me like how it is trying to get this out. Right, so I want to hear about it. Like, how did you find out about CBD?
So I've been doing cannabis research well over 3+ years now. All of it completely out of my own pocket. I started out as a cannabis grower, and through my research with the different plants, I learned that each plant actually had a lot of different characteristics and qualities. So through a lot of trial and error, I discovered and was able to actually isolate some of those things, and through that,
These are your plants that you're growing. You're doing the chemistry on them.
Yep.
Okay, that's really interesting.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
cool.
So at this point, I have worked with over 50+ different strains. I'm still looking for more, so I
Right,
call
wow.
myself a strain hunter. Those
strain
are
hunter.
yeah, those are just strains that I grow. So if you have a really great strain that you would love to see on the East Coast, please give me a plug on some seeds. We definitely do a lot of sharing. We're looking to have a clone share coming up this summer.
Wow.
We're already planning for it.
What a great
So we're going to be putting some more plants out so that these people can get to grow their own beds free of charge.
Wow. Well, we want to support that cannabis community right here. The whole community wants to get behind Miss Dankness. This is what we're about, right? Every step forward, right? There's so many people in need, right? The people who are actually the entrepreneurs. You know, there's more sick people than you can ever take care of.
Exactly.
Exactly. As a physician, you know, there's more need out there than I can ever supply. Why wouldn't
Yep.
you want to teach the people, let them grow?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that's needed right now is more research, more producers, more educators. Because once we do the research, we have to then share the knowledge. That's the biggest thing of it all. So what ended up happening was through working with different products, I was also introduced to different methodologies. And I began to look at working with different mediums because I had a variety of different requests from patients. I had patients who had NG tubes and just were not able to eat at all, and had to be fed a different way. Then I had patients that had dietary issues, so everything from the Dr. Sebi diet to just non-tolerance of food at all.
Yeah.
So I had to figure out how to work with all these different ailments and how to do it appropriately.
So do you grow high CBD strains?
At this point, we don't have any available, but we are looking to get some new seeds.
Right on.
All right. Yep.
Cannabis community. Ms. Dankness gets Physician for the People Award for the month. Right? That is amazing work. Listen, I want to make sure everybody knows how to get in touch with you. We have that graphic for her. Right? Follow you on IG. And Ms. Dankness.
Put it up there.
Right on. Okay. Follow you on IG and then Facebook.
Yes, sir.
Another thing we want to secure. Out there is somebody who knows how to take this formulation and put it in the mass market. This CBD formulation, I'm telling you, I've tried many, and this is the only one that tastes good. I'm gonna just leave that out there.
So
You've
the
tried a lot.
terps are in there?
Yeah. Entourage Effects CBD, y'all. This is the best one ever, and that's why you're on the show, because I don't like everything. I like this one.
Thank you.
And I want to get a sponsor for y'all, right? So Miss Dankness, follow her and get in touch if you want to find a partner who's going to make you money. That's right. Call Miss Dankness. Right on.
Thank you.
All right, here. We're going to take us out to the next one. We're going to bring our friends back. Gotta go. Gotta go to the...
Fellas, I'm ready to get up and do my thing. I want to get into it, man, you know. Like a sex machine, man. Moving, doing it, you know. Can I count it off? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Get on up, get up, get on up, get up, get on up, get up, get on up. Hey, on the scene, get on up. I like a sex machine. Get on up, get up, get on up, get up, get on up. Hey, on the scene, get on up. I like a sex machine. Get on up. Wait a minute, shake your money maker, shake your money maker. Wait a minute, shake your money maker, shake your money maker. Is that a feeling? You got to get that. You give me fever and a cold sweat. The way I like it is the way it is. I got mine. Don't worry about his. Till I take him to the bridge. Go ahead. Take him on to the bridge. Till I take him to the bridge. Take him to the bridge. Shake your money maker. Shake your money maker. Shake your money maker. Shake your money maker. Stay on the street. Get on up. I like a sex machine. Get on up. Get up. Get on up. Get up. Get on up. Stay on the street. Get on up. I like a sex machine. Get on up.
Discipline and tough love for everyone else. For those who are interested in the real world, a look at the actual history suggests an adjustment, a modification of free market theory to what we might call really existing free market theory. That is the one that's actually applied, not talked about. And the principle of really existing free market theory is free markets are fine for you, but not for me. That's again near a universal. So you, whoever you may be, you have to learn responsibility and be subjected to market discipline. It's good for your character, it's tough love, and so on and so forth. But me, I need the nanny state to protect me from market discipline so that I'll be able to rant and rave about the marvels of the free market while I'm getting properly.
Cannabis community, I am Dr. Ram Thoreau. You've reached us here on Physician for the People. We have begun a new regime right now. We're calling in with patient requests. We have you can call the number that's at the bottom of your screen. We have our first caller on the line. Caller, can you hear me? Caller?
Yeah, Doc.
Oh.
This is Frank Rizzo from Jersey again, a frequent caller.
Oh, goodness.
Not only
Mr.
that,
Rizzo.
I call a lot, too.
Well, Jersey is going to legalize, sir. So how can we help you on Physician for the People?
Well, yeah, I got a problem with my ass. Can I say ass?
Sir,
or Keister Caboose or Hershey Highway.
Sir,
better.
if you could use the proper terminology. If you could just
Excuse
say
my
anus.
indiscretion.
So, yes.
But anyway.
Yeah, I'm sorry, sir. Yes.
More like inside my ass. Like what's inside my ass don't want to come out.
Well, there are cannabinoids involved.
I got what they call consternation, you know, where you can't take
You have
a
consternation,
shit.
sir. Sir,
My block valves are breaking my freaking balls.
Sir, if you could use the proper terminology, it's testicles.
Since you're a doctor and you're a freak, which
and
makes you an ass expert, there's some kind of pot maybe that I could take to take care of the problem with?
Is there a cannabis strain, perhaps, that could help you with constipation? And
Well, you know the stuff called acidophilus. Isn't that good for the ass? Maybe
Sir,
I can mix it with some
let me
pot
recommend actually.
so my ass don't feel so rough.
Let me actually recommend to you, sir, that you try juicing raw cannabis. It is one of the best remedies for acidosis and for acidophilus. Whatever you ass you got. Listen,
how about the doobies that help me drop
I know that you're here trying to make fun of me. but this is a real thing. Listen, Jacob.
I need some
listen,
blunt
last time
that'll
you did
make
this.
me blast
Fred.
out some brownies.
God damn it. Listen.
Is there any reefer that'll make me launch some rump rockets? How about some ganja that'll help me grow a chocolate tail?
True compassion is ruthless compassion. He said you're never going to help anyone if all you do is hand out crutches and reinforce their weakness. He said you must find and support their strength if you want to help people. And he doesn't try to sugarcoat it either. He's taking a real hard look at these things. And he's calling it like he sees it. Maybe a medicine man. For his diagnosis and his prescription for what ails humanity. And his ability to find this problem and track it back to its roots. Well, I think he's unmatched in his field at this ability. But if you're looking for someone to gently tear off the Band-Aid to expose the wounds, well, maybe you need to look somewhere else, because as one Chinese medicine instructor told me one time, he said, true compassion is ruthless compassion. Is ruthless compassion. He said you're never going to help anyone if all you do is hand out crutches and reinforce their weakness. He said you must find and support their strength, support their strength if you want to help people. He said you must find and support their strength if you want to help people. True compassion is ruthless compassion.
Cannabis community, I'm here with La Princesa Verde. I am Dr. Ram Thoreau. You are with Physician for the People, and you brought us some of the neatest things that go with your weed. Now, I don't know about y'all, but one of the weirdest things about good weed is if it gets too dry, you try to roll it up, it turns into like a lotion. But you brought me something to cure to my ills. What are these?
These are humidipacks.
Talk to me. Show me.
They're made by Boveda.
Uh-huh.
And there's different percentages on each pack. And they started out doing humidipacks for cigars and humidors. Because, as you mentioned, that globby whatever substance,
yeah,
you know, it's a pain in the neck. And these packs are like no-brainers.
Right, the weed gets
and
so dry.
You put it in the humidifier, and you know you track it stays on point.
La
and
Princesa.
it's two-way humidification,
Yeah.
and it keeps it balanced.
You brought me some wonderful cannabis that that was reanimated. I actually had some inside the humidipack and some that was outside. And what I noticed was the stuff inside the humidipack stayed perfect. And when I ground it up to roll it, the joint rolled evenly, smoothly, did not canoe. Those things are worth their weight in gold.
Yeah.
How do I get them?
After, you can get them on Amazon. You can get them on, I guess, Boveda.com. I'm not sure, but I got these. Some of these, like one of these is actually was the one of the items you can buy and get a donation type of situation.
The
but
gift economy.
Unfortunately, the percentage is wrong. 72% is cigar percentage. And anything from like a lot of people really prefer 62%. It all depends on how moist you want it.
Yes.
The other percentage is like 58.
Oh, interesting. Right. So you can get a range.
Yeah.
Right.
And it can depend on like how dry you got it to begin with.
Right. Yeah.
I don't have so many where I finagle it that way. All of these seem to work just fine.
I like that a lot. Right. That way you can take care of your cannabis in the right way. You don't have to. I tried putting that lemon peel back in the day, and that never worked because I overdid it.
Yeah.
Make it moldy. Right.
Yeah, and you have to wait. These in like not. Like minutes. I don't know how many minutes.
I love that.
I hear different things.
I love that.
I actually like to keep mine if it's really dry. You can bring back some dried up weed, something you didn't really put a pack in or something, and you liked it, but you don't want to smoke it because it's too harsh.
Yeah, exactly.
So, put a packet in there, let it kind of marinate
Exactly.
with the moisture for about a week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Connoisseur's
You have to be
choice, y'all.
patient, you know.
Listen, now that the cartel weed is over, now that you have some choice, if you get something that's awesome, it's a little dry, it's okay. Humidipack it. Right
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
La Princesa,
And
baby.
it helps keep the terpenes together
Right,
there.
exactly. Right? It doesn't go rancid. Your terpenes will actually degrade. It'll get you less what you want.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing I want to talk about, you are a roving reporter. You've been going around to events and you've been checking things out.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite event that you've gone to lately? I want to hear about this.
I didn't know I was going to get asked that.
Wait a second, it's my mom. That's okay. It's my mom. Tell my mom I can't talk now. Shh, Mom, you're embarrassing me. I'm on the internet. I know you don't. She'd always talk to your mom. God damn. Don't hang up, Mom. What the hell's wrong with Dr. Rom? He doesn't talk to his mom. I feel so bad now. I can't go on. All right, listen. Listen, we're gonna do a quick. I want you to react to the news real quick.
Okay.
Right, we'll go through a couple of news stories.
I will mention an event.
Oh, tell
that
me an
I
event.
Do like is,
Okay, good.
I believe it's Blissful Buds.
Blissful Buds. Okay,
With
I'm
the
sorry.
video games.
With the video game. Oh, Blissful Buds with
Some
the video
fruits.
games. Some fruits.
VIP option, which included the fruit.
I like that. La Princesa Verde.
Some place you can chill out and not be so stressed when you're trying to pick up something really nice.
Right, I know, right? Where is this
Yeah.
place? So give the address.
I don't know the
Right.
address.
So how do we follow them?
I guess look up Blissful Buds.
That's what we're going to do. Follow them on IG. Blissful Buds, I know I do. Right, I want you to react to a couple of these stories. First of all, Gail King says Oprah smokes weed. Okay, any surprise there?
A little bit, but not really.
Not really. No, I don't think so. Okay, Illinois state cops promises to kill their dogs if Illinois legalizes cannabis. Everybody hear about this? Is real. This is fucking real. I want to read to you the fucking mentality of the state cops here. The biggest thing for law enforcement is you're going to have to replace all your dogs, said Macon County Sheriff Howard Buffett. So to me, it's a giant step forward for drug dealers. It's a giant step backwards for law enforcement and the residents of the community. Right? Here's the mentality: people get paid to be cops. Assistant Police Chief Steve Petrilli said it would be impossible to teach the dogs to ignore orders that they have been trained to recognize since they were young. This is the quote. At this point, they're trained on 5 different orders. Once they're programmed with that, you can't just deprogram them. I think the implications would be huge. In other words, legalize, we'll kill the fucking dogs. All right?
Unnecessary.
All right? Unbelievable. Look at the mentality of these people. I'll kill the fucking dog. All right, DEA, Ninth Circuit Court, rules that CBD is the same as fucking THC. As far as fucking DEA is concerned, same fucking Schedule 1.
A lot of people are going to get affected.
All right, this is huge, y'all.
They're going to get angry.
They're going to get this is huge. This is the thing I've been waiting for. Thing to piss off people because they thought CBD, hey, it's okay, it's legal. No, it's not. Right, Courtney? And now this is what the judges said. The DEA's final rule does not violate the Agricultural Act of 2014, the Farm Bill, which actually defines industrial hemp as plants less than 0.3% THC, but also defines it as another version of cannabis sativa. So there you go. All right. And on a similar note, Colorado logs 106 million in retail cannabis sales just in March. All right, 2.9% sales tax. And this is the fucking worst part. Listen, I don't want to fucking say this like, but this is real. Listen what prohibition does. The mom in March gets busted with a half gram of weed, right? Gets busted with a half gram of weed, and then gets raped in jail by the guards, right? In Texas. She's filed suit. I'm not here like telling tales. She's filed suit. She's come out. This traumatized mother, 26-year-old Emma Lopez, filed suit against the city of Katy of Harris County, right? Basically, she was arrested. The cop says, listen, you can't have any cannabis for epilepsy. It's not a medical state. Brings her to jail. A few hours later, a male guard enters, secures her arms in handcuffs so she couldn't defend herself. Right? This is the same county in 2013 where the Department of Justice says, all right, it's this jail, like a jail is one of the worst places for sexual assault, right? This is the same city where they actually did a vaginal cavity search because they smelled marijuana on a young woman, 21-year-old college student in public. We have dash cam footage. You can see that on Facebook. That's from 2013, right? And so to end this news shithole, from His Emperor Haile Selassie, there are good men and wicked. First of all, is there anything to add to that? I'm sorry.
I'm
stunned.
Yeah.
Right. Prohibition is not over. Right. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be
It's
cavalier.
unnecessary.
It's unnecessary. And look what it does. Gives the fucking police right to continue their drug apartheid, right to war on people, war on natural medicine, war on mothers, war against epilepsy, war on people of color. right? This is what cannabis prohibition is, right? And we need to know that there are good men and there are wicked. The former should be made use of and the latter punished, without attempting to understand why the ones are good and the others wicked. Cannabis community, we're out.
He said you're never going to help anyone if all you do is hand out crutches.
That's the way you turn people into automata. You control them, you separate them from one another, drive any human instinct out of their heads, make them see themselves as nothing in life except adding to my useless. There has never been a medical reason for criminalizing marijuana. Marijuana was criminalized